Welcome back, yet again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins Gate 0. In the last episode, Rintaro spent quite a while trying to find the origin of the song that Kagari had been taught in 2036, and well, it was an interesting experience to say the least, because Kagari learned it from Mayuri, who learned it from Suzuha, who learned it from Yuki, who, bizarrely enough, learned it from none other than Rintaro's own mother, who then claimed that she herself had heard it from, well, Rintaro. Of course, it goes without saying that Rintaro has no recollection of this series of events because he's come from a different world line in which he never sang that song. But the others are convinced that if Rintaro visits the grave of Mayuri's grandmother, which ironically enough is where the insane mad scientist Hououin Kyouma first entered this world, that he might gain some sort of recollection as to having sung that song, but I doubt that that's actually going to happen. I met with Kagari and Mayuri at a spot near the cemetery where her grandmother was buried. Judging by the grey sky, I would certainly say so. Well, hopefully Rintaro did. Yeah, you can't entirely trust weather reports, and even if you do, the weather can change in a heartbeat. Well, it looks like it's up to Rintaro, and I never brought an umbrella when it wasn't raining, so if it does rain, we're all gonna get totally soaked. In other words, nobody had an umbrella. Hopefully we can do this quickly. So you can tell your grandmother all about it, Mayuri. I wouldn't be surprised if Rintaro was having second thoughts about this. But he made a promise, and he intends to keep it to the end, even if it doesn't succeed. Never thought we'd be back here again. We finally arrived at the cemetery. The skies were getting darker, and it felt like it could rain at any minute. But it's not raining now, which is all that matters. And there's Mayuri, standing in front of her grandmother's gravestone. We finished cleaning the grave and each of us put our hands together in front of us. Then Mayuri sat down and started talking to her grandmother. Kagari and I watched her from a short distance away. Come to think of it, if memory serves, Rintaro and Mayuri used to bring food every time they came to visit the cemetery. I can't remember what that was though.
すっごく心配だったんだけど、どうしてもバイトに行かなきゃいけなくて。
Of course, Mayuri is telling her grandmother about the events of today.
だから、オカリンとダル君にカガリさんのことお願いって言ってラボを出たの。
Of course, it goes without saying that Mayuri wouldn't be able to do this in 2036, thanks to World War III.
本当は心配で心配で胸がはち切れそうだったんだよ。
I wonder what must be going through Kagari's mind as she hears all this. Since we're nearby, of course.
岡部さん、
Kagari whispered to me, concerned.
ああ、マユリのことなら気にしないでくれ。
Consider this a personal ritual of sorts, something that Mayushi needs to do.
儀式みたいなものなんだ。
Indeed.
儀式？
ああ、マユリはおばあちゃん子でさ、そのおばあちゃんが亡くなった時には魂が抜けたみたいになってたんだ。
And before, when she was standing here, she would always reach up to the sky, shaking hands
半
with
年くらい誰とも
stardust.
口を聞かずに、毎日ここに来ては一日中ぼんやり立ってた。
And the one person looking out for her was none other than Rintaro Okabe.
まるで自分もおばあちゃんのところに行ければいいのにって祈っているように見えた。
それを岡部さんが連れ戻したんですよね。
That's definitely one way of putting it.
どうしてそれを？
Of course, that's part of the dark past.
マユリさんから聞いちゃいました。
あいつめ。
So Mayuri told Kagari Shina about Hououin Kyouma.
いいじゃないですか。かっこいいですよ。マッドサイエンティストの法王院京馬さん。
やめてくれ。
A man who was entirely fiction.
必死だったんだ。
Anything for Mayuri Shina to come back down to reality.
後から思えば正解だったわけだけど、やっぱり恥ずかしい真似をしたと思うよ。
I'd used every bit of knowledge I could scrape up from anime and video games to try and keep Mayuri's soul from leaving us. And there is a flashback of that very day.
連れてなんて行かせない。
The day that Hououin Kyouma was born.
マユリは俺の人質だ。人体実験の生贄なんだ。どこにも逃がさないからな。
Yeah, of course he had yet to perfect the Hououin Kyouma laughter.
そっか。
That was also the moment where Mayuri knew that she was still needed by Rintaro.
マユシは人質なんだね。
And rather than be upset,
しょうがないね。
Instead of being upset, Mayuri was eternally grateful. Even if it was nothing more than childhood imagination.
とても素敵なお話だと思います。
そうかな。
Rintaro, of course, begs to differ here.
そうですよ。あ。降ってきました。
That's not good. Since none of us have umbrellas, that's going to be a problem. I looked up just in time for a drop to fall on my cheek. Yeah, that's bad. Not that we can do anything about it now. A cold rain started to come down.
こんなに早く降り始めるとは思いませんでしたね。どうします？
We should probably wrap this up as quickly as possible. We just gotten here and hadn't done anything yet. I wanted to at least do a little research before we left. Come to think of it, Rintaro hasn't really experienced the phenomena that Kurusu and the others did on the Alpha World line. That is to say, thanks to reading Steiner, he retains memories of the world line that he has come from, but he doesn't recall events from world lines that he has yet to visit from his alternate selves.
一旦雨宿りできる場所を探そう。コンビニで傘を買ってもいいし。
I suppose that's a solution. Of course, that won't entirely save us from being drenched, unfortunately.
Mayuri-san, 一度駅に戻りましょう。
We'll come back later.
ああ、雨だ。
Yes, it is. That's why we're going to get umbrellas. The rain started to come down harder as we ran towards the station. I think we're all in the same boat there.
先に傘を買っておけばよかったですね。
Unfortunately, it's too little too late.
これじゃシャワー浴びないと風邪ひいちゃうね。そうだ。かがりさん、マユシーのお家来る？一緒にシャワー浴びようよ。
Not sure how Kagari would feel about that.
あれ？
Mayuri turned around and suddenly stopped. I stopped too. I looked back and saw that Kagari wasn't keeping up with us. Oh no, is she having another episode? I think she might be. She was standing some distance away, with a blank look on her face. She was facing us, but seemed to be staring off into the distance. That's not a good sign.
どうしたの？聞こえる。
Her voice was flat and emotionless. It was like she was a different person than the one that had been there a moment before.
聞こえるって何が？
That's ominous. Oh no. Is what happened with Suzuha going to happen now?
声が聞こえる。
That's
かがり。
very ominous. Mayuri started to walk towards Kagari.
私。
I'd be
行か
careful.
なきゃ。
and suddenly Kagari ran through the puddles of water and out into the street. Yeah, that is a bad sign. We have to go after her. A truck was coming. Oh dear. Oh no. This is bad. Extremely bad. Kagari screamed. And my body moved on its own. I yanked Mayuri's shoulder down and knocked her to the ground so that she couldn't run out on her own. You'll thank us later, Mayuri. And then I used that momentum to run out into the street myself. It seems that Kagari was having another flashback while she was in the middle of a trance.
昔はね、今みたいに空気が汚れていなかったから、みんな雨に濡れても気にしなかったんだよ。
Seems that Kagari is once again having memories of the future, but I think people still care if they get wet in the rain.
かがりちゃんくらいの年の頃はね、雨が降るのは楽しみだったんだ。オカリンと一緒にお外を走り回ったの。
Seems that future Mayuri is telling Kagari about her history with Rintaro Okabe.
雨の中を走るとね、まるで海の中を泳いでるみたいなんだ。
Interesting way of putting it, but they're not technically the same thing.
オカリンとママはね、その中を泳ぐ魚なの。世界でたった2匹だけの。
Once again, you can't swim in the rain. It doesn't work like
楽
that.
しかったな。
But apparently Mayuri enjoyed it. Then again, it looks like that memory is being cut short.
それはいつのことだっただろう。1998年に鈴葉お姉ちゃんと別れてから長いこと閉じ込められていた施設。
So it seems that Kagari is starting to gain something of her time between 1998 and 2010. Apparently, Kagari was confined in the 12 years that she's been
私
missing.
がそこから逃げ出したのはいつのことだっただろう。
When
逃げ出した理
indeed.
由は急にママに会いたくなったから、それだけだった。
At the place where she was kept, Kagari was waiting for the professor and come out, like always, when she happened to look outside and see that it was raining. The professor, eh? Come to think of it, in one of the world lines where we encountered Kagari Shina from before, she mentioned this professor. There is only one person who fits that particular description. When she smelled the water through the window, she remembered what her mother had said. And the next thing she knew, she had taken off the headset that she was wearing. Nobody had expected it, so escaping was easy. She ripped off the cords on her arms and used the little window to go outside. And then she'd snuck in the back of a truck that was leaving the parking lot. The facility she'd been kept in must have been deep within the mountains. After hours of shaking, the truck finally reached a town somewhere. Unfortunately, back then it seemed to have been just as cold and damp as it was in the present. When the truck stopped, she jumped out and wandered in the rain with nowhere to go. She didn't have any destination in mind. She just wanted to see her mother, but didn't know where she was. And even if she did find her, her mother would have been younger than Kagari and wouldn't know who she was. She'd run away from the facility on impulse, but she had no money and there was nothing she could do. Except wait for the professor to come find her. I don't trust this professor. Until then, she wanted to get wet in the rain. The rain kept falling for a long time. Her clothes got wet, but she didn't care. Even though she should.
雨が痛くないなんて変な感じ。
Of course, the weather in 2036 would have been probably scalding acid. The rain in this era didn't sting when it landed on your skin, it was warm. For the first time, Kagari learned that nature could do things other than hurt you. There was life in this rain, that's how it felt to her. The rain in this era was alive. It was totally different than the dead rain of the future. Kagari kept walking, enjoying the feeling of being surrounded by living rain. How long had she walked? When her legs finally started to get tired, she sat down at a bench with a roof over it. So a bus station then. It was a trolley platform. It was unmanned, even without a ticket station. And it seems that Kagari is a little bit older than the 10-year-old she was when she left Suzuha behind in 1998. So it looks like she's been kept at the facility for a while. Though how long exactly, we don't know. She sat down and looked up at the sky. The rain was still falling. But at least she's got some shelter.
神様はこの雨も嫌いなんだろうな。生きている雨より死んでいる雨の方が好きなんだろうな。
Seems like Kagari is a
そう
bit
じゃなきゃ
cynical there.
未来の雨が死んでいる理由を説明できないもの。
The dead rain sure didn't seem better than the living rain to Kagari. But there was one thing she was sure of. In the future, where Mother was, the rain was dead. When she saw her mother again, the rain would be dead. So she wasn't really mad at God. She should be mad at the people who made that rain dead in the first place.
迷子ですか?
Seems that Kagari isn't alone. A boy was standing next to the bench. He was the same age as Kagari, or maybe a little younger. He was holding an umbrella, but the area below his knees was soaking wet. He must have walked in the rain for a long time. Kagari said nothing as he sat down next to her. He looked tired and in pain.
僕も
The boy talked to her in a voice that was a whisper. What he talked about, she couldn't remember. But he seemed to be in so much pain, as if he was carrying the weight of the whole world's sadness on his shoulders. Why had he talked to her when they'd never met before? Why had he decided to open up to Kagari? Strangely, it didn't bother her. She was the same. She was the same as he was. And strangely, she realized something. There were things in this world that you just couldn't change. There were things in this world where all you could do was watch them slip through your fingers. You couldn't give up on them, but you had no choice but to give up. She felt that despair. Maybe the rain had brought the two of them together. There were so many people in the world, and yet the two of them had no one that they could talk to. So maybe the rain had brought them together. The living rain. The warm rain. The gentle rain.
Okarinとママはね、その中を泳ぐ魚なの。世界でたった2匹だけの。
And once again the flashback of the future. Mother had looked so happy when she told that story, but it sounded sad to Kagari, because the world was so big, and it was just the two of them alone. It would be lonely and sad to have no one else there. That's what she'd thought. But now she understood how her mother felt, just a little. Just two fish, alone in the world. But that was different than being totally alone. No matter what else, there was someone next to you who felt the same way. It was lonely, but she was sure it wasn't that lonely. That's what she felt at the bottom of the sea of living rain.
探し物一つ
And the only thing to cheer up Kagari Shina is to sing the very song that she learned from Mayuri.
星の笑う声風に瞬いて手を伸ばせばつかめるよ
There was nothing Kagari could do for the boy, but she felt like he needed that song. The next thing she knew, the boy was gone.
雨止まないな
No, it isn't.
探したよ。
Hello, Professor. I recognize that voice. I recognize that voice all too well.
行こ
Three guesses as to the identity of this mystery professor. 3, 2, 1. Okay, time's up. Yeah. I could know who you were from a mile away, Professor Leskinen. You seem to be cropping up everywhere these days, don't you? And it seems you are indeed involved with Kagari Shina after all. But, curiously enough, if you've been paying attention, adventurers, you'll have noticed something about the boy. His voice was familiar, wasn't it? But I'll let you figure out who that boy could possibly be
う。どうしたんだ
for
い
yourselves.
私行かなきゃ。
She shook off the professor's hand and ran off into the street through the pouring rain. And then she saw a truck, splashing up water from the puddles as it came barreling towards her. It seems we're back to the present again. At exactly the same place where we were before. With Kagari standing in the middle of the road in the pouring rain, watching the headlights of an oncoming truck. But it seems that Kagari is alive.
生きて
Which means only one thing. Kagari woke up and realized she was in a hospital bed. Looks like Rintaro managed to save her life after all. And there next to the hospital bed is Mayuri Shina. Hello, Mayushi. Mayuri was looking down at her with eyes swollen bright red. And there's Rintaro.
かがり
私
トラックにはねられそうになったんだ。怪我はなかったんだけどな。気を失ってたから念のために救急車を呼んだ。
Looks like Kagari had yet another memory
君
come
は
back
保
to the
険証を持ってない
surface.
から医療費はとんでもない額になるかもな。
Yeah, looks like we aren't going to be able to be paying Tanuji's rent this time.
しょうがないよ。あの時はそうするしかなかったもん。係さんが無事でよかった。
Indeed, that's all that matters.
オカリンがね、ギリギリのところで助けたんだよ。二人とも死んじゃったのかと思って。マユシーは
Mayushi was very worried for both Kagari and Rintaro.
泣くなよ、マユリ。
そうでした。ぼんやり覚えてます。岡部さんが飛び出してきてくれたこと。
Indeed he did.
ごめんなさい。私どうかしてた。ありがとう。
いや、無事ならいいんだ。
And nobody was hurt. In a fit of emotion, Mayuri leapt on Kagari. She is really upset.
よかったよ、かがりさん。本当に心配したんだから。
マユリさん。違う。
Kagari finally understood everything.
そうじゃない。
It seems like she's putting two and
マ
two
ユリさんじゃな
together.
い。そうだ。この人はママだ。
It seems like she's finally remembered who Mayuri is in her life.
やっと。やっと会えた。
And now it's Mayuri's turn to be surprised. And Kagari's turn to give Mayuri a big hug. Because she's finally remembered.
かがりさん、違うよ。まゆしはママじゃないよ。
Maybe not at this point in time, Mayuri. But several years later,
違
you will
ってなん
be.
かない。ママはかがりのママなの。
She couldn't stop herself from talking like a little girl. The last 10 years vanished, and Kagari was once again a small child.
ママって。かがり、記憶が戻ったのか？
At least as far as Mayushi is
お
concerned.
かりんおじさん。全部思い出した。私は椎名真由里の娘、椎名かがりだよ。
Looks like we're going to have to tell Mayuri once again about her time in the
かがり
future.
さん、まゆしより年上だよ。
That's because she traveled back in a time machine.
それにまゆしは赤ちゃん産んだりとかしてないし。
We'll explain everything.
私は未来から来たんだよ。
Or rather, Kagari will.
未来のママは孤児だった私を引き取って養女にしてくれたの。
まゆしが
Of course, this is a lot to take in.
私に生きる理由を与えてくれたのがママなの。ママはね、私を危ない目に遭わせないために一番安全なところに逃がしてくれた。
In other words, as far away from 2036 and World War III as she possibly could. And if she wasn't safe in space, the only place she could be safe in is time.
安全なところ？
In other words, the past.
ママが幼かった頃のまだ平和だった日本でなら安全に暮らせるだろうって。
And Kagari finally understands just why Mayuri put her with Suzuha in the time machine. Now she understands
でも
everything.
やっぱり寂しかった。ここにはママがいないんだもの。どんな安全な場所でもママと離れ離れになるんじゃ意味なんてないもん。ママ、会いたかったよ。
And with the memories come the tears. Tears of sadness and tears of joy. Kagari clung to Mayuri on the soft bed and cried for a long time. At first, Mayuri was confused, but she eventually hugged her back gently.
かがりちゃん。
And of course, Rintaro is completely unsurprised by what's going on.
ごめんね。ごめんね。
Reunited again.
ごめんね。辛かったよね。寂しかったよね。ママのせいでずっと泣いてたんだよね。ごめんね。
こうして私、椎名かがりは全ての記憶を取り戻した。
Looks like Kagari finally got all her memories, it seems. She finally remembers everything.
それからの数ヶ月間はただ楽しかった。
And she's living a wonderful time in
毎日
2011.
のようにラボに集まってママやその友達と遊んだ。
I wonder if she'll be the newest lab
みん
member.
な本当にいい人たちだった。退屈する暇なんて1秒もなかった。特にママはできるだけ時間を作って私と一緒にいてくれた。
It looks like Stratfor aren't coming after her either. At least not on
一
this
緒にご
world
飯を
line.
食べに行ったり、一緒にショッピングに行ったり、目的もなく一緒に散歩したりした。
Seems like Mayuri and Kagari are just enjoying Akihabara. As they should. Because the future was pretty bleak in 2036.
その全てが私が心の底から求め続けていたものだった。
In other words, Kagari Shina finally has the childhood that was so cruelly taken from her, both by the war and eventually by Professor
以前は
Leskinen of all
頭の
people.
中に響いていた声もママとたくさん話しているうちにいつの間にか聞こえなくなっていた。
That definitely counts as a good sign. I don't trust the voice.
笑顔を私に見せてくれた。そして心から嬉しそうに私の話を聞いてくれた。
Now that's Mayushi for you.
本当に幸せだった。
Always with a sunny disposition.
お泊まり会も何度もした。ラボやママの家やルカ君の家でお菓子を食べながら遅くまで話して、夜はママと同じ布団で眠りについた。
In other words, doing nothing but ordinary activities and living a normal life.
布団の中では小さな声で二人であの歌を歌った。
I wonder if we'll ever learn the meaning to that song, or whether or not that song has any meaning
ママ
to
が
it.
二人をつないでくれた歌だと言ったあの歌を。確かにあの歌は私とママとをつないでくれた。
Indeed it did.
私は小さい頃にママにこの歌を教えてもらった。ママは鈴葉お姉ちゃんから聞いた。鈴葉お姉ちゃんはユキさんから、ユキさんはオカリンおじさんのお母さんから、オカリンおじさんのお母さんはオカリンおじさんから、そしてオカリンおじさんは
Indeed. How did Rintaro learn the song?
確かなことはわからない。
I think I know who it was that taught him that song.
でももしそうだったらそれはとても素敵なことだ。他にもママとたくさん話した。学校の話、ラボの話、オカリンおじさんの話、未来の話、恋の話、本当にいろんなことを。ある時ママが急にこんな話をしたことがあった。
What did Mayuri say?
ねえかがりちゃん、まゆしーはね、思うのです。この歌は大好きな人を励ます歌なんじゃないかなって。その人は大切な宝物をなくして悲しくて悲しくて眠っちゃったの。
I think your future self said something along those same lines.
どんなに揺さぶっても眠ったまま、それくらい悲しかったから。でもね、その宝物は実はなくなってないんだ。本当はちょっと手を伸ばせば届くところにあるの。だけどその人は宝物がすぐ近くにあることに気づかないでずっと眠ったままなの。でもね、その人はきっと本当は誰かが起こしてくれるのをずっと待ってるんだ。だってね、その人はそばにいるから。いなくなったわけじゃないから。それがいつになるのかわからないけど、それでもいつかきっと目を覚ましてくれる。そういう歌なんじゃないかなって思うんだ。
Certainly an interesting way of putting it, to say the least. Whether
そ
it's
して
actually
ママ
true
は
or not.
私を見てにっこりと微笑んでくれた。カーテンから漏れる月明かりでぼんやりと見えたママの瞳がとても澄んで見えた。初めて見る綺麗な色の瞳だった。けれど 後から思うと、あの時のママの瞳は以前にも見たことがあった。あの時、私が記憶を取り戻したあの雨の日、ママは私を抱きしめながらあんな瞳をしていた。あの時、ママはずっと同じ言葉を繰り返していた。ごめんね。かがりちゃん、ごめんねと。そのごめんねは、ママが未来のママ自身の代わりに謝っているんだと思ってた。未来のママが私を一りぼっちにしたことを謝っているんだって、そう思ってた。けれど、そうじゃなかった。あの時、ママは他の誰でもなく、2011年の椎名真由里として私に謝っていたんだ。
Indeed it was Kagari.
私を一りぼっちにしてごめんねと。
That's exactly why she was
そのこ
apologizing.
とに気づいたのは半年後。2011年7月7日。七夕の日だった。本当は分かってた。
What was coming?
こんなところに呼び出して、ママ、何の用かな。
I wonder, why does Mayuri want Kagari to be here in the radio building of all places, especially after she's gotten her memories back? But I believe that we can leave that question for next time. So when we return, adventurers, we'll find out the answer to that particular question. As always, until next we meet.